Minutes of regular meeting December 13, 2017.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mary call the roll.
Commissioner Drummer?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Here.
Mayor
Or
Adams?
here, yes. I'll get it together.
Next, ratification of bills for December 2017, January 2018.
Make a motion that we ratify the bills for December 2017 and January 2018.
A second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mary call the roll.
Commissioner Drummer?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Second on the commission reports, I'll start with fire report, fire and rescue. There were 2 non-emergency fire responses for this time period with a response time of 9 minutes. There were 4 emergency fire responses for this time period with an average response time of 6 minutes, 31 seconds. There were 9 non-emergency EMS responders for this time period with an average response time of 4 minutes, 50 seconds. There were 20 emergency EMS responses. Must be a little crowded down here now. 20 EMS emergency responses for this time period with an average response time of 5 minutes and 10 seconds. To the police report, criminal reports was down 7. We were up 3 in police action reports and +1 in physical arrest. Traffic accidents, none. Traffic citations, we were up 23. Parking tickets, we were up 2. Traffic warnings down 7. Ordinance citations, none. Ordinance warnings, 5. And other calls for service was 164. On with my report. I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This year went fast last year. I'm afraid how fast this one's going to go. As I get older, I see this happening. But a thing that's moving at a snail's pace right now is the undergrounding of Gulf Boulevard on the east side, and we still need some easements. I think we've got, what, 12, Mary? How many?
Yes, 12, what we just done.
So we're looking for about 10 more on, and they're coming in slowly, but hopefully we can get this undergrounding started within the next couple of months. And I don't know yet whether they're going to start down in Redington Beach and come north or start up here and go south. Anyway, that's all I have. So I would like to move on to Vice Mayor Capper.
Also, I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Building, we're still going pretty good on our permits. We issued 59 total permits. 1 single-family home, and I believe there's a couple more coming in here pretty soon. The rest of the permits were mostly renovations, air conditioners, and roofing. And that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Hey, Commissioner Neal.
Happy New Year to everyone. All with the holidays being over with, now we can go back to work. We have sewer crews coming in tomorrow. We're going to resume lining the sewers on the west side of Gulf Boulevard here, back in the, and off of Gulf. And the parking lot, the parking, not parking, but speed limit signage. We have 2 more electronic signs coming in. Any day, I expect them to be delivered. We started striping the roads, or say repainting the stop sign bars and putting some speed limit signs painted in the road today. It'll be finished tomorrow. And that's actually, I feel good about that. We're finally making some headway on getting people slowed down. we still have a few people that want to drive fast, but I think the police chief here, his guys are starting to enlighten some of them a little bit. So with that being said, I'm done.
All right. Commissioner Henderson.
Well, I have literally received dozens of emails about an addition of a crosswalk near Del Bello Park. And it's because of the half-mile distance between the crosswalk at Friendly Tavern, County Park, and La Vistana. So that's a huge distance, and we do have a lot of things on the other side of Gulf Boulevard to get to, Seabreeze, banking institutions. If you're going north on the bus trolley, you have to cross that traffic, and that's a long way to travel to get to a crosswalk. So I have actually contacted the DOT, and I'm pleased to say that they agree with me. They are on board with a crosswalk, and in the past, they have turned it down. So it's on the books for 2019. I'm really hoping that we can get it done sooner. I'm looking for some funds and some grant money, and I'm working with Forward Pinellas to see if we can push things along a little sooner rather than later. And I'd love to see it in conjunction with the utility undergrounding. That would make sense to me, but who knows? And I also wanted to say I appreciate all the support I received during the qualifying period for mayor, and thank you all, commission and residents, the same. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Henderson. Commissioner Drum.
Happy New Year. All I have really is the library is closed Martin Luther King Day. All I have to say.
So are we.
All right, on the old business, second reading, advertised public hearing, ordinance 17-08, amending the PUD allowable uses of 17715 Gulf Boulevard.
Ordinance number 17-08, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Reading, Shores, Florida, amending the allowable uses on a parcel of land generally located at 17715 Gulf Boulevard, Reddington Shores, Florida, legally described as attached hereto on Exhibit A and made a part hereof, lying within sections 31 and 32, Township 30 South, Range 15 East, Pinellas County, Florida, which parcel of land is generally located to the east of Gulf Boulevard, and which parcel of land is currently zoned Planned Unit Development, PUD, amending the allowable uses on the front portion of such property, which is legally described collectively on Exhibits B and C attached hereto and made a part hereof, allowing that the portion of the land depicted on Exhibit C can be used for a parking lot in conjunction with contiguous property and a parcel located across Gulf Boulevard at 17566 Gulf Boulevard, Redding Shores, Florida, setting forth conditions for approval and use of such parcels, providing an effective date.
The motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion as to ordinance 17-08.
Second.
Oh, you hadn't made it
Yes,
yet?
Oh.
agreed.
True.
I move that we pass on the second reading of the second advertised public hearing, ordinance number 17-08, subject to the following conditions, which shall be deemed conditions imposed on either portion of the PUD property being divided. 1, that a solid masonry wall 8 feet in height be constructed along the southern border of the northern portion of the PUD property that is to be used for 5 residential units. That such wall shall be constructed prior to any certificates of occupancy being given for any of the residential units. 2, that the design of the 5 residential units and the color scheme of the development be consistent with the homes immediately to the east in the Reddington Shores Tennis and Yacht Club. 3, that 5 residential units not be used for short-term rentals. 4, that the utility easement for the underground utilities be provided along the western portion of both the southern and northern parcels of the PUD as required by the town. 5, that except for the 5 residential units proposed to be developed on the northern portion of the PUD property being separated, there shall be no more residential or commercial density allowed on either portion of the PUD property being separated. 6, the southern portion of the PUD property being separated shall be used only for parking lot in conjunction with the development of the property contingents immediately in south of such southern portion of the PUD property, and that such parking lot shall be fully developed and landscaped. 7, I got a couple more to go, that the parking lot be finished and landscaped to include either paving or impervious surface as approved by the town commission, and with parking spaces being striped and contain wheel stops. with buffer landscape to include a 4-foot, 6-foot, or 8-foot, as determined by commission, hedge along the western portion of the parking lot and shielding it from Gulf Boulevard. 8, that any lighting of the parking lot parcel on the southern portion or the 5-unit development on the northern portion of the PUD property shall be shielded away from any nearby residential structures. 9, there should be no more than one curb cut from the parking lot parcel to from Gulf Boulevard.
Second.
Well, now I know why you said library's closed. That's it.
You're going to hear a lot from me.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Tapper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, second reading of advertised public hearing of ordinance 17-09 requiring permits for garage sales.
Ordinance 17-09, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Reading Shores, Florida, creating a new article of the Code of the Town of Reading Shores pertaining to garage sales, providing for the inclusion of such new article in the Code of the Town of Reading Shores, providing an effective date.
Motion to approve ordinance 1709.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Tapper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, second reading and advertised public hearing, ordinance 17-10, amending section 140-61, defining commercial vehicle.
Ordinance 17-10, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Reading Shores, Florida, pertaining to parking, amending section 140-6.1 of the Code of the Town of Reading Shores, Florida, by adding a definition of commercial vehicle as to the prohibition of a commercial vehicle being parked on Gulf Boulevard for a period in excess of 2 hours, providing for the inclusion of such amended ordinance in the Code of the Town of Reading Shores, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Make a motion that we adopt ordinance 17-10 as read.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Tapper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to recognize Attorney Denhart.
You voted yes on that, that's correct.
Yes.
No, I just want to bring the commission up to date, going back to the first ordinance that you did tonight, the PUD ordinance. As you know, there's probably going to be an application for the southern portion of the PUD property that you've now said can be a parking lot for the Hotel Sol. They have an application that's pending. It went before the Planning and Zoning Board several months ago, received recommendation at that time. They have amended some things on it, and as I understand, they're supposed to, now that this PUD process has gone through, they're supposed to close, I've been told, on the 18th of this month, the Hotel Sol people, so that they would own that southern portion for the parking lot. They have submitted to Mr. Andrews some revised site plans. There are several things on there that are different than what they had proposed initially, substantially the same, but still some differences. And I believe I had said initially that, you know, if everything stayed the same except just adding on the parking lot, that they probably wouldn't have to go back before the Planning and Zoning Board again. But I believe now the better practice would be to have the Planning and Zoning Board review the amended application. They don't have it all in yet. The latest that I got from Steve a couple days ago was they have a conceptual site plan that they've submitted, and he'd given them some comments, and they need to revise things. But I just want to let you know that it may or may not be done so that it could come before you at your next meeting, or it may be at your March meeting. But I just wanted to update you on what I think is the status of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go on to new business, I would like to recognize Chief Hughes to give us a little information of something coming up.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. What we're doing is we're trying to get more involved in the communities of Indian Shores and Rankin Shores. We're trying to do an outreach educational program where we're going to do 2 or 3 classes throughout the year. We've already got one set up. It's called the active aggressor. It's not going to be just an active shooter. It's an active aggressor where the guy could have a knife, could have a baseball bat, could have anything. And we have that set up for April 3rd at the Town Hall in Indian Shores from 6 to 8 in the 4th floor. I'm hoping to talk to one of the ISPOA, the Women's Club, and serving refreshments. Like I said, it's only going to be like 1 or 2 hour class. And to me, it's one of the best ways to get people educated and aware in case you're ever caught in that kind of situation. Is it really going to happen here? Who knows? But at least we're going to give you the tools to work with it in case it does happen. And we're working on another class we're working on actually today, identity theft. It'll be the same thing, like a 2-hour class, and we're cooperating with Fifth Third Bank. The manager there's actually has come up with some good ideas on the program, and he's working with 2 of my detectives to work out a program. Like I said, education and awareness are, to me, one of the first 2 things you need to fight crime. On this identity theft, the bad guys are sitting around all day long thinking of ways to steal your money. Well, if you can be forewarned and educated on what to look for, that much better for you to secure your money. And I've asked the council, is there any type programs you think you would like to see? A program of getting people to start locking their cars, maybe? That's going to be one of
We've
them.
been trying, well, good luck on that one.
Well, I'm actually thinking about bringing a car door and showing them how easily it is to break into a locked car. And it's simply how long it takes to, if it's unlocked, open your car door, wrestle through, and come out. How many seconds it takes. Anything to get people more aware, educated, that they need to start locking their doors. Anyway, thank you. Oh, and Happy New Year.
Hey, Chief.
If we think of anything,
Yes, sir.
we'll get it done to you.
What
Okay.
was the identity theft, what date was that going to be, do you know?
That we don't have set yet,
No date.
but the one for the active aggressor,
Got
going to be taught by Ray DeCunto. He's
He's well-known in the county.
well-known in the county. He's almost a legend in Pinellas County, but right now he's teaching classes all over the United States. And this is one of the things that's his expertise. I'm really looking forward. He just taught us a class on sexual harassment in the workplace, and it was a really, really good class. But like I said, we haven't. And if you want us to teach a class, we'll come down and do a class.
No, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about
Okay.
that.
We're gonna be doing one soon.
Okay, coordinate between me and Major Smoke, and we'll get it done.
Okay, thanks, Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, on to new business. Approval of the 2018 holiday schedule. See that, any comments? No, I don't need a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the 2018 holiday schedule.
Second?
Motion and a second, and discussion. Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. We need resolution 01-18 approving fiscal year 2017-2018 sewer budget amendment.
Resolution 01-18, a resolution of the Town of Reading, Shores, Florida, amending the 2017-2018 annual fiscal year sewer budget.
If you hadn't looked at this, it's transferring, we had 100,000 in the sewer budget. We're moving out and putting 150,000 in and transferring from surplus, and making a new line in the budget. And I forgot what the title of it is.
Capital improvement.
Major rehab.
Yeah. So I'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion, we transfer from surplus to capital improvement, major rehab, $150,000. $50,000 going to maintenance and repair.
Second.
All right, Second.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Is that any public comments? All right, you come up and state your name, address, you have 3 minutes.
Hi. My name is Gail Conroy. I live at 841 180th Avenue East. And basically, what happened was my neighbor put up a new fence, but he left the old chain link fence behind it. And he didn't remove the old one. I guess it was too expensive or something like that. And I need to remove the old one because it looks really tacky. I have some pictures here. I don't know if you can see them or not. But I talked to Steve Andrews, and he said, yes, I can remove it at my own cost. I just want to make sure it's okay with you guys and that it's on record that that's what's going to happen. We don't have any trouble.
It's on his property?
It's, here, let me show you. He can't maintain it. He would have to be on my property to maintain it. Here's what he did.
But is the fence
Is
on
the
his property?
fence on his property or your property?
It's on his property.
I'm not sure you could remove it on somebody
Well,
else's
I don't
property,
think
but
the
I,
town commission can give you
No.
permission to
Yeah, I
remove
think that's
something on somebody else's property.
Sounds like you need to talk to him.
Does he mind you removing it?
I don't know, I haven't talked to him. He uses it as a junkyard back there, so I don't really talk to him about it.
Well, I think if you talk to him and he gives you permission to remove it, then that's not really the commission's.
Well, Steve Andrews said that I could, because
What?
if you put up a new structure, you should remove the old structure, right?
not
If
necessarily.
it's on your property, not necessarily. It's your property. So if it's his property,
But how can he maintain it if it's on my side?
I'm not here to argue with you about it. I'm just telling you how it is.
So
The way to
how
do
is
it-
he
The way
gonna,
to do it is to go see him.
okay, but well, say he decides he wants his old fence there, how is he gonna maintain that fence
I don't know if you.
without trespassing on my property?
Then he can't.
He
So.
can't maintain his fence. So it's kind of
you
a
need to talk-
oxymoron
You
here.
need to talk to him. That's,
Well, I think he wants the old fence because he has so much junk back there that if the new fence breaks,
well, I don't see how you can go on his property.
well, it's not on his property, it's on my side. It's in my front door. Every time I walk out my front door, I see his fence there.
Do you have
Can
a-
I grow stuff on
Do
it?
you
I
have the
mean,
survey?
it's 2 inches
Do
away
you
from
have the
his...
survey with you?
No, I didn't bring a
Okay,
survey.
if you get a survey, then you know where the fence is.
But it's,
I'm not here to argue with you, that I can't.
so
We
he
can't help
is
you.
allowed 2 fences?
We can't help you.
It's on his property.
Okay, let me show you what it looks like. I mean, I got an expensive house here. I don't want it ruined because somebody
I
used like an old
cannot, I
fence.
cannot help you. I see.
So are they gonna do that all around town? Because if they are, that's pretty tacky looking,
Uh-huh.
you know?
I see.
mean, come on.
We
Do you want
can't, we
that?
cannot help you. You understand that? We can't help you.
The town commission can't authorize you to remove.
I'm not asking for them to authorize it. Steve Andrews already did.
Yeah.
I just want it on record.
Ma'am, you came in and you asked the town commission to authorize you.
No, I
to
said I
do-
just want it on record that Steve Andrews told me it was okay for me to remove the old
And you
fence.
asked-
since
you
my
asked-
neighbors-
I doubt that if he told you you could go on somebody's property and remove it.
I don't have to go on his property to make, to
That's 3
take it
minutes.
down.
That's 3 minutes. We don't have any more time. Thank you.
So I have to have the old fence? Who's going to put it?
All right. Going on to the miscellaneous, next workshop meeting. Is there any other public comments? All right. The next workshop meeting is Wednesday, January 31st, 2018, 6 p.m. The regular meeting is Wednesday, February 14th, 2018, at 6 p.m. With that, this meeting is adjourned.
Feels like a-